Nobody knows how long Hart has really been around. There's plenty of stories about how the city came to be. Some people say it's thousands of years old, took shape as a dream being had in the mind of some sleeping god. Others think Hart has been around forever in some capacity, thinking this place is some sort of purgatory, the space between another life before and the death that awaits us after. And some people think this place has only been around for a few hundred years, or maybe even less. See, the memory of the people here is a fragile thing. Nobody can know their own past for certain, except those who've seen it firsthand. We can't pull any history from the ground, not without digging deep. And when you can't know your own past, what's left? Believe what you're told by the people in charge, or toss their words away, knowing there's no other tale to call your own.
Hello, and welcome to Heart the State Within, an actual play podcast presented by UniversiD&D. My name is Blake Croft. I will be your game master and your keeper for the evening, and it is my absolute honor and privilege to welcome my players, Alex.
What up? I'm Alex.
Jacob.
I'm Jacob.
Lily.
I'm Lily.
And Katie.
I'm Katie.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm so excited. If you've been listening to us so far, then thank you so much. Jacob, stop doing that. This is session 4 of Heart. If you haven't listened to the other 3, please go do that. They are sequential. So what are you doing, guys? I have to do an intro. Why do you do this when I start talking?
Lily does it.
Does what?
They'll never know.
As a reminder of where we last left off, we saw our characters breaking into the church in the Elysian district, following the lead of these bodies that were being taken in the streets under mysterious circumstances.
The scene you see in front of you is a particularly gruesome one. In each pew, in each row of this main church, you see there are corpses face up, all in the same pose. I think I said there were 15 of them last time. You also see a man that is walking through the rows, and he is cutting off parts of these corpses. You see that he is carrying a large, burlap sack, almost like a foodstuffs bag, something you would put potatoes in. And he is methodically cutting off parts of these legs and arms and putting them into this bag. He has not noticed you yet, but that is what you see as you open the door.
Okay, so I just barely open the door, right? I kind of creak it open?
Yes.
Okay. Almost as soon as I see that, I just as quietly as I can close it.
Okay.
It's a particularly gruesome sight out there. I think we should leave immediately or face certain death.
Well, they're looking for us outside anyway. What did you see?
Okay. So there was roughly a dozen or so corpses in the pews and a very large, scary man cutting off pieces of them and putting them in a potato sack.
Well, gotta go check that out, and I'll start headed towards the door.
Whoa, you're just gonna walk into that place? Should we make a plan first?
Well, yeah, my plan so far is just not to run away.
I mean, that's fair.
I don't want to do that either, but if what Atticus here is saying is true, then I don't know, maybe we should sneak in or something.
Yeah, that's a good point. Look, you guys can wait in here if you want to, and I'm not forcing you, but I kind of have a duty, so this is my path in life, and it might be a short one, but this is where I'm going.
Well, shit, if you want to take on this guy one-on-one, you're going to need some backup.
Yeah.
While I'm not particularly fond of you two yet, I don't like to see people die.
I would appreciate that.
So are we thinking like take this guy, knock him out, or because wouldn't we want to get information out of him in some way, or bring him back to the police station, look in his bag of body parts?
As a reminder, when you all had snuck in the window, you made a loud bang, so you are on a time crunch here.
All right. Dot, Mike, Annie, are you guys like equipped to fight, or do you know how to handle yourselves? No, not at all. Okay. Mike?
I can handle myself in a professional situation, but against a brute like that, I'm not really sure.
I'm better from a distance. I hold up my bow that I have with me.
She hunts for bread.
Yes.
What?
My wheat.
Okay.
It's an inside joke, Ted.
All right. So, if you guys are coming in here with me, Dot, maybe you stay back, hit him with the bow or the arrows, I guess. Mike, what's your specialty? Are you fisticuffs or what are you doing?
I guess now's a good time as any. Open up my case and brandish the blade.
Ooh.
That's pretty cool.
Custom made, rather tough steel. Real work of art here. Anyway, shall we?
Yeah, and I'll put on my knuckles on my left.
Okay.
Oh.
You hear, as you all are gearing up, you hear a door open in the main hall.
Backup may have just arrived. Luckily, I got a few sets of handcuffs, but I'm pretty sure once we get past 3, it's that's all I got.
Lead the way, I suppose?
Oh, God.
All right.
Wait, Blake, I
Yes.
would like to use one of my advantages.
Okay.
It's called Quick Thinker, and whenever I commence a dangerous mission, I roll plus reason. And then
Do
I get
it.
to
Roll it.
choose options.
I also have a similar thing. I would like to do my daredevil, right? Or,
Yes.
I don't remember I don't remember what happened. Yeah, I'll roll that.
So
I got a 7. What is that on our scale?
That's a mixed success, so that's the middle.
Okay. I choose 2 options at any time during the mission.
Well, that's not good.
I think you possess some equipment you can use to get out of a sticky situation. Ask the game master what it is. That's
Okay.
Or you have special field training that would be useful in getting past one of your obstacles. Ask the game master what it is.
Okay, great.
Hey, so I get 1 edge, but because I rolled a 6, you get to make a move.
So I think you all get set up, and you open the door, and you see that the hall is completely empty. This man has left. But you hear from a different place than you had heard that other door open, and this is the move I'm making, Alex. The main doors at the end swing open, and you see the 2 priests, Brother Guile, who is like a member of the parish, and Father Abel, walk through the door.
can I look around and see where the other door that just closed? Like,
Yeah, I think you see. So you are all on the second level balcony. And I think because it was a hard move I made because of Alex's Daredevil, they see you as you walk through this door. The other door is not too hard to see, though. It's like directly under where you are, or like under and across the way. But it's on the back wall of the church. And it's just like a single door. It doesn't lead outside. It leads somewhere else on the
Further
bottom
in.
floor. Yeah. Yes, Jacob, you're raising your hand.
Once
Yes,
again.
because I don't want to interrupt. I'm going to try to use my enforcer advantage here.
Okay.
I will take out my sidearm and point it in those two gentlemen's direction. And I will exclaim, "District Police, get on the fucking ground!"
Yeah. What is
Okay.
Enforcer? What does it do?
When I credibly threaten someone directly or suggestively, roll plus violence, and then it does some things. Would you say that triggered it, probably?
Yeah, sure.
Well, that's almost great. It's a 9.
Okay, so with the mixed success, what does it say the results are?
I must give them a third option, so I have to choose one. They offer you something they think you'd rather have. They retreat from the scene. They're terrorized, and I have +1 ongoing on all rolls against them until they've proven not afraid of me. Or they attack me from a disadvantaged position. You take +2 on your roll to engage in combat if you counterattack.
Okay, yeah. Both of their hands immediately shoot up, and Father Abel steps forward. Brother, we mean you no harm, but it seems you were the one who has broken in to our establishment. And you said one of the options was they could offer you something you want instead, right?
Yes.
We are more than willing to cooperate, work out some sort of transaction here. There does not have to be any shots fired or harm done.
Yeah, I'll holster my gun because I don't want to shoot to these religious people. So, yeah, can I start like making my way down to them?
Yeah, you see stairs on the other end.
Annie's
Sorry.
following close. She
Okay.
wants to get behind that door.
Okay. Yeah, you walk down, and Ted, they put Brother Guile keeps his hands up a little bit, but the Father Abel gestures for him to lower them.
Sorry, gentlemen. I don't know if you're aware, but there was just a big guy with a machete chopping up a bunch of corpses. You guys don't happen to know anything about that, do you?
Oh, I'm so sorry you had to see that, officer. I promised all of this has been sanctioned and approved by the Walker family. There is nothing to worry about here. The bodies are alarming, which is part of the reason we have closed off the church for the time being. But we felt it was our responsibility to keep these bodies off of the streets.
I see. Okay, so you had recovered these bodies elsewhere and brought them in for safekeeping.
Yes,
Gather.
sir.
So this is all probably just one big misunderstanding, and we could probably get out of your hair, is that what you're saying?
Precisely.
Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down. All right. Well, we'll get out of here. Let bygones be bygones. And, sorry for disturbing you.
No worries, officer. And thank you for your discretion.
Of course. Do they see? They see like everyone else that's here, right?
Well, I think
I was-
Annie's right behind you. I think Atticus and Dot are up on the top still.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Dot.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I want to go back and say, Atticus, come with me. But he's upstairs, so I think Annie's just sliding along the back wall until her back is against the door. And just maybe trying to jiggle the handle a little bit just to see if it's unlocked.
So this is the door on the back wall. You jiggle it, and it is unlocked. You're back to it. There. You see, Brother Guile looks in your direction.
I stay still.
Deputy, we're headed out.
I kind of like breathe out a sigh of relief. I'm like, oh, thank God. Start walking down the stairs.
Okay.
Let's blow this popsicle stand.
And Ted, what is your plan here, or are you trying to achieve something with this, or are you actually leaving?
I'm trying to get us all out of here before the Walker family murders us all.
True.
So,
okay. Then
let's
I'll
skedaddle,
follow
y'all.
Atticus.
Okay, awesome. Annie, are you opening that door, or are you just seeing if the knob was unlocked?
I was just seeing if the knob was unlocked. I sure would like to go in there,
Okay.
but I think I might die if I do that.
Okay. I mean, they don't have the Walker family was the big threat here, but they don't have weapons on them. If that's what you're.
Except for the guy with the machete.
The
who
guy in
just
the
walked
door
into
does.
the
Yes,
door.
yes, that is true.
I am so tense right now. Every muscle in my body feels like stone.
You or Annie?
Me, Katie,
Okay,
the
great.
player.
Great.
I'm like kind of waiting at the door.
Let's head out.
As we head out, can I just peek at the bodies if they're not so mutilated I can't recognize a face? Can I look
the faces appear untouched. The cutting off of these body parts seems methodical, and it seems very cleanly done. Usually at either the midpoint of the thigh or at the knee, if it's the legs, or somewhere around the shoulder or the forearm.
I'm just going to look for Nora's face. And I don't think I wouldn't know what Claremont looked like.
Yeah, I don't think any of you know what Claremont looked like.
Okay.
Yeah, I think all of you. Dot, are you leaving too?
I am.
Okay. I think all of you get a decent look at these bodies. Maybe not Ted, as he's holding up this conversation. But the rest of you, it's hard to look away. Annie, you do see Nora sitting in one of the pews. Her body, just as you had left it, but missing her left arm. And Dot,
Oh, God.
as you are walking towards the stairs, you look down at the pews and you see this gruesome sight. And you see one of the faces, a man who looks to be fairly young. Have you ever had that moment where you recognize someone, but not like you don't know why you recognize them, like you feel like you shouldn't have recognized this person? You feel like his face is not in your memory, and yet it is familiar. Dot, I need you to roll your repressed memories disadvantage.
So roll, keep it together.
Yes, yeah, keep it together.
7.
7. So 7. So the effort to basically there's some more stuff with the disadvantage here, but you are going to choose one condition, which remains with you until you've had time to recuperate, which is probably going to give you -1 stability. But before we do that, let me explain who this is. You recognize this man. You met him a few weeks ago. He had come into your village asking for volunteers for what he called the opportunity of a lifetime. And you and Caspian, your best friend, signed up. But you are realizing now that that day is incredibly blurry to you. It seems everything that happened that day is completely crossed out in your memory. But you remember him taking you and Caspian and a few others from the village in a carriage just a few hours to the northwest, and then it fades away. Whatever else happened after that. But you know that he was in charge of it, the leader of this thing that you went on.
I say under my breath, what the fuck?
A name comes to your head too. This man's name is Charlie Vale. Okay, so with the keep it together, you have to choose a condition. You can become angry, sad, scared, guilt-ridden, obsessed, distracted, or you will be haunted by this experience at a later time.
I think guilt-ridden.
Guilt-ridden? Okay. Yeah, so you become guilt-ridden. You go down 1 stability level. The rest of you are piling out the front door?
I guess so.
Okay.
Yes.
You follow Ted out. Father Abel walks through the door and ushers the rest of you outside of the church, back into the streets.
I'm not making eye contact with them.
I'm glad we could come to an understanding, officer.
Yeah, me too. Last thing, and then I'll get out of your hair. Is this like... I'm not really a religious guy. Is this like just some devotion to God type thing, and I was reading too into it? Because, as you can probably expect, it looked a bit suspicious, you know?
I will say, this is not standard goings-on for our parish. Things have been strange around here, as I'm sure you know, officer.
Yeah.
There is some sort of hysterics going around. People are blaming the church for these killings, when, as I'm sure you could see, we have done nothing of the sort. These killings seemed, well, related in some way, I'm sure, but no markings on the bodies. Nothing of that sort.
So you're trying to figure it out too. I see what's going on.
Precisely.
Well, I appreciate it. Let me know if we're just gonna be out of your hair. So, take care, Father.
You too, officer.
Then I'm just gonna start moving away.
Okay.
Ideally to like an alley or secluded place where I can talk to the rest of the homies.
Let's chat.
At the edge of this street, there is an alley between 2 buildings that is out of view of the church.
Okay. I know that was a bit anticlimactic. But,
Anticlimactic? My heart's never beat so fast in my life.
well, you were the one going after the machete guy.
I needed to know what was behind the door.
I know. I want to know too. But, Mike, I don't know what you know about the Walker family. Probably more than I do. But, as much as I wanted to go in there, catch a bad guy, and save the day, if we make an enemy out of one of the 5 families, I'm pretty sure we're all fucking dead.
We might be already. They don't want people to know about what's going on in there. Is there any way they're going to let us live to see tomorrow?
Did they happen to catch your name?
Mine?
I don't think I said it. I think they just called me officer the whole time.
I will say, I don't think you said it, but I do think you and Annie had told them outside when you were talking with them.
That is a good point.
So they know your name, and you introduced yourself, Officer Ted Garner, District
We're
Police.
so screwed.
Annie, I think you might have just introduced yourself as Annie, but definitely
I'm
Ted, they have their full
double
name
screwed.
and position.
That's not good. All right. Well, we got out of that. My instinct is to go tell my chief what the fuck we just saw. However, if you guys would rather go back in there, I guess I'll leave that option.
I don't think there's any way we can go back in there now.
I agree. By the way, would anyone happen to know a gentleman of the name of Charlie Vale?
GM?
I think no.
You recognized one of the bodies?
Weirdly enough, that's a hard question to answer. Yes, kind of, but enough that I knew a name. But I've never been to Hart before, so I met him on the outskirts.
What sort of connection did he have with the church, if any?
Nothing that I really know of.
Wait, you said his name was Charlie Vale?
Yes.
Now that you mention it. I'm just kidding. No, you should tell that to the chief, though, when we get there.
Oh my god.
Is everyone down for getting as far from here as quickly as possible? Because
Yes, please.
that was not fun.
For now, let's do that.
I'd rather not have my elbows ripped off by a machete.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. So, all right, let's get out of here.
Back to the station You all walk through the doors, and the chief is sitting in there in his office. He's going through files and things.
We've traumatized the kids you left with us.
They're forever ruined. Let's go to the chief's office.
Okay. You walk in. Don't tell me. I don't want to know where you were.
I was about to tell you exactly where we were.
Is it important?
Yeah, it's important.
Are you implicating me in something, Garner?
How about I tell you what I saw, and you decide what you want to do about it?
All right, fine. Floor's yours.
All right. Door's definitely closed. Let's clarify that now.
Yep. Yeah, sure. 4 of you in the office. Door closed.
All right. If someone wants to chime in, let me know. But the gist of it is we went on a little adventure to the church. And when we got in there were a bunch of bodies lined up in the pews, and a big guy with a machete chopping limbs off and putting them into a bag and doing I don't even know what. But that got kind of interrupted because 2 other church guys came inside, and I talked my way out of it. They said that whatever was going on is being authorized by the Walker family. And I guess it's not something that they usually do, but because of the God murders, that they were like looking into why it's happening.
All the bodies were the bodies we were looking at.
They seem to have similar markings. Yeah.
And they said that was protocol?
They said that, I don't know, the Walker family cleared it. They don't usually do this, but because of the murders...
And the body parts, what was that? That's apparently approved too? What was that all about?
I don't know, but all I know is that the bodies keep going missing, and apparently they end up in the church.
All right. Thank you for coming to be about this and not being too rash. Here's what we're going to do. I can't be found approving my officers to do this sort of thing. But I can, turn my head and pretend I didn't know anything. But technically, anything approved by the Walker family is going to be above us, but that doesn't sound like there's something going on in there. Did you get a glimpse of what they were doing with the body parts?
No, big man with a machete went into another room we couldn't see.
I mean, it seems, some kind of ritual?
Probably. I can only imagine. I don't know.
All right, well, look, the church technically has power because they've, done some things for the city, but if we can catch them in something like this, we can take it above their heads.
Okay, look, if you want me on this, I'll do it. But Clay, I got people in heart that I care about.
I know you do. Look, if you all get found out, I'll protect you. I'll take the fall for it.
I mean, you guys decide what you want to do, but if you're taking the fall for it, sure.
Listen, that's very noble of you. But, you had me figured out in the first few seconds. Yes, I am Assault. If they find out that Assault is working beneath their noses, that could mean more than just my life. I could start a war.
Atticus, you're not from around the Elysian district. You haven't seen firsthand the effects that these people have had on us. They've already started a war.
It's all they do, isn't it? They take and they take. They have nothing to give. Fine. Whatever. It's the most exciting thing that's happened to me in months. When do we start?
Well, we need you all back by this evening. That's when the assaults will be here.
Oh.
I'm sorry, what? I just asked for my lawyer, not my entire family.
Yeah. Your dad insisted on coming with.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is why we don't do lawyers down here.
Shit. Well, better be back for Daddy. Please cut that out. That was cringe.
Leave it in. Leave it in.
Say papa. Say
Papa.
papa.
No, leave it in. I like it.
But to
I
be
want
back
our
for
audience to know
papa.
that I'm real. All right.
So commendable, Alex.
Well, we've got a few hours, it sounds. I don't know, to talk things through or figure out what our next steps are.
What I'll say is this. Don't rush in looking for violence, okay? If they have the Walker family behind them, if they're telling the truth about that, then they've got a lot more firepower than we do. Get in there, see what it is they're doing. See if you can get any hard evidence on them. And we can take them down, go through the right channels.
Well, so far I have 3 witness testimonies. Does that mean anything?
I'm afraid witness testimonies won't mean much in this case. Not against the Walkers.
More like 3 more bodies on the chopping block.
All right, we'll find something.
Well, do we want to lay low for the next few hours or do something else rash and crazy?
Are we away from the chief now?
Yeah, if you want to be.
Ted, you wouldn't happen to have files on every dead person you're looking for, would you?
I don't, but I bet I know the guy who does.
Could you get me a file on Charlie Vale?
I'll walk over to Jetson. Is he there?
He's not there.
Damn it!
No.
Well, he's not in the main room.
Okay.
The rest of this episode is us finding him.
I will grab a scrap piece of paper from someone's desk and just, Jetson, we got paperwork to do.
The door immediately opens. What's that, huh? What's going on?
Jetson, I need your help.
Sure, yeah. What's up?
Do you have any file on a guy named Charlie Vale?
You want me to sort through the files?
Sort through the files.
Yeah, I'll look. I'll be right back.
He really likes paperwork.
He does.
He goes into the archives where you've kept most of the cases here. He comes back out like 10 minutes later, and he has pulled a file on everyone he can find that has. He'll say it. He goes, this is everyone I could find that matched that same description of how they died. Anyone that had, felt these same suffocation marks, died in the past few weeks. And here you go. I couldn't find anyone under the name Charlie Vale. We don't have anyone under that name. No reports of a death.
They might have gotten to him before we did.
Gotcha. All right, well, thank you, Jetson.
But he has found the files. There are fewer than the number of bodies that were there. Let's say there's like 9 files.
So there are 6 people there who are unidentified. Well, 5 if we count Charlie.
Okay. If I can bring all these files to my desk, and then I guess, I'll take some help with this because I'm not the brightest man. I don't know if you could tell, but is there anything linking any of the victims besides how they died? Like,
Interesting. Let's do a investigate maybe.
Can we all?
Yeah. Because then we can say
I
like,
have plus
what?
2.
It's plus, is that reason?
yeah, that's plus reason. So I think maybe one person can roll investigate and then someone can roll to help, which is also going to be plus reason.
I've got plus 3 to reason.
ladies, you take
Oh yeah,
it.
you guys did a little advancement after
So
last
Katie,
session.
do you want to roll and then I can help?
That would be fabulous. Y'all ready?
The smart ones.
Yep, go ahead and
So
roll.
do I still do plus reason?
Yeah, it's going to be plus reason as well.
Cool.
Bloop. I rolled a 10
Okay.
Whoa.
plus
Yeah, that's all you
3.
need. Oh, that was your flat roll.
My flat roll was 10.
Wow.
Plus 3 is 13. And then, Lily,
Did-
what assistance?
Did Lily roll under a 7?
Nope, I rolled a 7.
Okay, great. So yeah, so then plus
I
1.
find
So a 14.
Exactly what we're looking for.
You
I
find
saw
the,
Nothing
case.
else.
Annie, you find that the first victim that is reported was 2 weeks ago, and it was Brother Kindred in the church. And the woman that reported it, she reported it first to the station. Her name is Miriam Robinson. She is another one of these files. One that was not really like investigated too much, but there was a report that she had gone missing under mysterious circumstances. And then you see that a couple files later, you see that a man named William Hill, same thing. He had reported one of these bodies, and then he went missing just a few days later.
This is boding super well for me.
William Hill
And-
is a really good Chardonnay, by the way. I just thought I'd point that out.
William Hill, is that what you said?
It is a brand of wine. Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, well, he's dead now, so.
Oh.
Sponsored by.
But his legacy lives
By
on.
William Hill wine. Yeah, so that's what you see. So, and it seems like you don't have all the pieces here, but it
But
seems
there's a
like
pattern.
all the people here were linked in a chain of the first person to see the body dead is the next victim.
You know, I
Oh.
thought that might be the case.
And as you were reminded of this as you look at the last file on Nora, which you had reported or you had found.
That's not good.
No, indeed.
So did you guys? Is there anything?
So I will say, you get two questions with investigate, right? So I think that's you find that pattern, and then I think there's maybe some other things as far as like what's weird about what I'm investigating. This isn't as strict of a pattern, but there are I think 2, maybe 3 examples. We'll say 2. There's Lee and William had committed a crime the day before they were reported missing.
Right.
So Lee was brought in for questioning when he had reportedly kidnapped his child, and William Hill was I think he wasn't brought in for questioning. I think he was like they went to find him, and that's how they found out he was missing. But there are reports that he tried to this is very specific. He tried to push someone. He like drove someone out to the mists
Ooh.
and tried to push them out. And she had come back and reported this, that she had fought back and she didn't know where he went. And then he was reported missing when they went to investigate.
Any clue about where Lee Claremont might have been taking the child?
He was brought in for questioning. You looking back at the transcripts, you see that he was headed out of town, out of the district.
Fascinating. Is that what I find?
Yes, that's what you find.
Okay. Well, I have a strange pattern that I've sort of picked up on. It seems that 2 of these people at least attempted to commit a violent crime before, well, dying themselves. This one here tried to push a woman into the mists, and of course we know about Lee Claremont, who kidnapped his own child, I believe. Seems like they were headed out of town.
To the miss, you said?
That's what it says in the report.
There's just like a noticeable change in Ted's demeanor, I think.
Yeah, Ted, do you think this is one of your disadvantages?
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah. Walk me through. Which one do you think?
Meanwhile, I get very excited at the mention of the mists.
Yeah, I think let's roll fanatic here. We haven't done that. So this says you're a fervent adherent of an ideology. You interpret the whole world in accordance with that ideology, which must not be questioned. When someone questioned that, roll +0. What did you roll?
+0, I got a 7.
7. Okay, so mixed success. This says you become angry, confused, or frustrated. You tell me which, and you take -1 to your next roll.
Gotta go angry.
Okay.
Well, before I give the reaction, it's now being, at least from what little evidence we have, implied that the mists could be at least involved as to, like, somewhat connected to these victims, at least these two guys.
Yes. Yeah, and you haven't had enough to maybe detect, like, a cohesive pattern, but it's weird that it happened twice.
Okay, yeah. So, I'll probably just be like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I'm gonna go get some air. I'm just gonna go outside.
It's not even the worst news I had.
I think he's just... The mists mean something different when you grow up closer to them, I think. And speaking as someone who grew up outside of the city center, it becomes more personal, something that you could actually, like, go and see, rather than something that is just far away and that people just hear about. So I think that might be it. And some people are fascinated by it, and some people are really terrified of it.
I've never seen them. I suppose that makes sense. Before I go grab Grouchy out there, can you tell me what you're doing in town, both of you, before your family arrives, Atticus?
Look, no offense, but I'm afraid it's not really any of your business.
I don't need to know everything, but you said you wanted to stay away from your family, right? And it sounds like they're on their way.
It was inevitable. It was going to happen anyway. I was on my way to see them, actually. Someone in the family is sick.
Well,
sick? How?
Something probably terminal.
What are the symptoms?
I don't know the symptoms, and it's nothing you're going to cure.
Sorry.
No offense, but we do have the best doctors in the entirety of Heart.
Well, I'm sorry to hear about all that.
Will you just let us know what you want to do?
That chief, he said just to go find hard evidence and to report back before we have to deal with my family. So why don't we just go pick up the world's greatest detective, Officer Friendly, and go find the hard evidence. We notice a pattern. That doesn't really tell us what they're doing with the body parts, does it?
Let's go find Ted. And I'm gonna head out.
Yeah. You walk outside. I think Ted's blowing off steam. Maybe smoking a cigarette out in the alley. Yeah.
You read my mind.
Cool.
Yeah.
Dot and I found something interesting, and I should probably share something with everyone. Ted, it seems like the first person to interact with the bodies of the victims become the next victim. And, well, damn, I don't think there's any way around it. I'm almost certainly sick. I've got whatever hallucinatory illness these people have got. I don't think it's that serious yet, but I am definitely next in line. So, I would really like to figure out what's going on before I die. I'd also rather not get all my limbs chopped off after that happens.
There's a lot of shit going through my head right now. But I'm still kind of annoyed. So, Are we going to this church or not?
What are you
She
annoyed
said she's
at?
dying. And
Yeah, we're
you've
not gonna
known
let
her the
that happen.
longest.
About a day longer than you have. Calm down.
But something can
Obviously,
be.
we're not gonna let that happen. I don't know what the fuck this illness is, but I've seen Annie work some fucking miracles in the little time I've known her, so we'll figure out a way, okay? But I feel like punching something right now, and that guy with the machete kind of looks like a prime target. So are we going down there, or what do you guys want to do?
Well, whatever we do, as long as we're in there and you just don't storm off again, okay? In the middle of us developing, well, doing your job. But yes, I say we stop talking and start doing.
Atticus, have you ever seen the Miss? Have you ever been there?
Once.
What was that like for you?
Tempting.
Look, I guess you can count it as a sore spot, but those fucking Miss, I'm not a fan of them if you can't tell. Got a bit of a history, so I haven't thought about it in a while. Sorry, just hit a sore spot for me.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, you grew up in the country too, right?
I did. Yeah. I've
Did you
seen
ever
this.
did you ever hear the noises, the growling coming from whatever's in there?
All the time. It's
Oh.
like nothing you've ever heard. But it's also terrifying how everyone just ignores it eventually.
If it comes up again, we could talk about it more later. Just moral of the story is I don't fucking like the Miss, okay? That's why I moved here. To get as far away as I fucking could.
That I can relate to.
Yeah, good job on finding that link. I probably wouldn't have been able to pull that off. So, that's something, but I don't know if that's the hard evidence that the chief wants, so...
I think we need to go back and find out what they were doing with those limbs, and then go from there.
Yeah, that seems like a decent place to start. I'm gonna go see if I could grab something from the precinct, but they might not even have it, so... is the chief still in, Blakey?
Yeah, he's still around.
I'll just stop him and be like, Chief, you got any rifles laying around?
Yeah, we have one. Are you sure that's a good idea?
Just in case.
Okay. Just only use it if you really need it.
Yeah, I know.
And Garner, I got a call from the Blacklight. Look, you can't come at every situation like it's the Red Hand again, okay? You know, shoot first, ask questions later, that sort of thing. I know you and Grace are trying for a kid. I just don't want to see you get hurt, and I know there's other people that don't as well.
The Red Hand was we both know that was a special case. But, fine. But if I die because I didn't have this rifle, I'm haunting you.
You can take the rifle, Ted. Just make sure you're not the one shooting first.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and yeah, so you take the rifle and head out.
Yeah, walk out with the rifle in hand.
Okay.
All right, I got what I needed. You guys ready?
I suppose.
Ready as I'll ever be.
You cheeky dude.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You go back to the church and stay a distance away. You see that now Father Abel and Brother Guile are patrolling the perimeter slowly and doing like a little circle where they meet on either side, going opposite directions. What are you doing? You see, I described this before. So the window that you came in before is now closed. There are two entrances to the church through the proper channels, one in the front and one in the back. From what you can assume, you actually didn't try the doors, but they might be locked, they might not be. The front door didn't seem locked when they were coming in and out of them, but they were just patrolling there. So the back one is you can probably assume locked. What are you doing?
Probably we should try the back, right?
Yeah, let's try that first.
Do.
I guess I'll be like, Dot, have you ever made like a lockpick or anything? Like, what do you make?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm
think
gonna use no.
We can actually just use the same. I think this is the same situation that you were in before when Alex rolled Daredevil and you rolled, what was it, Quick Thinker? So I think, is there one that's like you have a tool for the job?
You possess some equipment you can use to get out of a sticky situation.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is definitely that. So
Let's go.
I think you have built, maybe tinkered with that a little in the past, gotten into some things you weren't supposed to. You have lockpicks.
I still have the see a threat before they discover us. Okay.
Correct.
Anyway, I actually have one right here. Okay, so how do we want to do this? We have to wait for them to pass and then go in, and I try to pick a lock as quickly as humanly possible.
That sounds about right.
Is there any
is
sort
there-
of distraction we could do?
I was gonna ask the same question.
Hey,
Up to you,
Dorothy. Do you still have that little cocktail of sorts? Of the Molotov variety, perhaps.
Do I still have that?
Are you carrying your Molotov cocktail with you? You tell me.
I think maybe. I
Okay.
think because I have like a bunch of belts with like satchels on them, and so I think I like
Yeah.
pull it out, and I'm like, I don't have anything to light it with though, but it's here.
Smoking
I'm always
saves
ready
lives
for a
today.
It's a metaphor for friendship.
We'll
What a
see.
strange idea. Ted, lend me a light, please. I'm gonna lob the Molotov over the top of the church to hit the front of the church.
Yeah, you go towards like as far peeking out of the alley as you can towards the back of the church, and you peek out and throw it
You're gonna
towards not into the
Notre
street,
Dame
but
that
like
church.
towards the front of the church. And you see as it just like hits the ground and just like shatters into a small explosion by the front of the church. And yeah, immediately Brother Guile and Father Abel rush over in that direction as you all like Mission Impossible style creep
That's a
over to
cue.
the back of the door.
Let's go.
We do not condone burning down churches.
I'm not. Hey, I didn't throw it at the church. I threw it in front of the church.
Does it say you're
so-
gonna Notre Dame that church, throwing it over the top?
Lily still act under pressure, and why don't Alex you roll to help her with
Yay.
that?
Is that
That went
shameless?
really well in our trial.
Yeah, with plus coolness.
Oh, let's go.
Good, because I'm not very cool.
Yoink. Hey, that's a 10, baby.
So that's
So that's a-
plus 2 to Lily's roll.
That's an 8 with the +2.
With the
With the plus 2?
Yes.
Or okay. So you
Well,
do
plus
it,
two
but
help.
hesitate,
Yeah.
are delayed, or must deal with a complication. So yeah,
I'm not very cool.
I think what happens is the lockpick, you're not very used to using this, and it breaks, and you take out a second one. And
I'm
do
not
this,
used
but-
to it, but I have 2.
yeah. I mean, you have a couple. You in that time that it takes you to open the door, Brother Guile and Father Abel investigate the cocktail and see likely the trajectory. I think one of them probably saw generally where what direction it came from, and I think they look back towards the alley and hear the slightest noise around the back of the church. So they are walking in that direction. But you get the door open and push it shut behind you and lock it.
Is there anything we can place in front of the door to hold them back if they've got a key?
I think no, because the room you stepped into is actually almost entirely empty. And in fact, the only thing that's in here is a staircase, a spiral staircase down into a basement of some sort.
Oh no.
Well,
Let's go
I
down.
might have wanted to save the Molotov for the freaking big Frankenstein multi-arm, multi-leg monster we're about to run into.
True.
Yeah, because now all we have is okay, I'll keep that a secret, I guess.
Now we have a rifle that Lily is going to insist is a shotgun.
Are you all walking down the stairs, or what's?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Yeah, and this is again a time crunch.
Oh shit!
But
Do we
you have
wanna-
locked the door, so
Do we want to have like a marching order? Katie, you just going first?
That would probably be a poor choice.
I think I should go first because of my edge.
Ooh,
You are
go
pretty edgy.
first.
I don't think I'm that.
Okay, okay.
Actually, no.
Jacob.
This is actually one of the edgier characters I've made. You just don't know it yet.
My tragic backstory. Okay, I mean, I'll be towards the front because I guess.
okay. So Atticus, Ted, Annie, Dot. That's on.
Should I be in the back because I can watch the back, and I also am better from a distance with the.
Yeah.
I am.
I think that
not.
sounds good.
Put the rifle
I'll be
over my
right
shoulder, like as we're
snugly-
like walking down.
Nice in the middle.
Blow my right
my
eardrum
bow.
out if you have to pull the trigger.
You step down the staircase. This seems to have been put into the church. Like, it doesn't seem to be like approved architecture, as this is like very, very like rough stone and doesn't really match with the rest of the vibes of the church. You guys need to stop miming how you're walking down.
I have my
hate it.
sword out.
It's for the immersion, but for only us.
You start to curve around this staircase and you hear something, and I'll say, Atticus, you hear footsteps, and discovering a threat before it discovers you peek around the corner and you get a glimpse of this room. There are a lot of things to describe here, so I'm going to do my best to do them one at a time.
Oh no.
This is a cellar type basement that runs under the entire length of the main hall of the church. Okay? The walls are three of the walls are dirt, as it's just underground, but the far wall is made of stone. I will get back to that wall in a second.
The room. That is odd though.
Yes. Yeah, and it strikes you as like jarring, like a jarring shift. I don't know why they would make one wall here, right? There are two, how do I describe them? A tank of some sort. There are two tanks on one side of the room. When I say tank, I mean a glass case.
There's an M1 Abrams down here. Just like,
There's a Panzer in the room that is.
oh my god!
There are these glass tanks that are cylindrical, a little bit curved. Have you ever seen those like soda, the water fizzers type thing, like where you make carbonated water? How they're like curved cylinders that kind of come to a point. Almost like a tilted egg. That is the shape of these glass tanks, and they sit on these metal bases. One of them is shattered, or at least one section of the glass is shattered at the front of this tank. And the other tank sits on the other side of it, but it seems to be intact. On the far wall, this stone wall, there is a wooden door, which is weird because that is at the front of the church. Anything beyond that point would be pushing into the main street of Hart, right? Or getting towards there into the street of the Elysian district. So it's strange that there is another room beyond there. And on the stone wall, you see above the door, scrawled in what appears to be blood, the phrase, "It devours." And the threat that you were noticing before it notices you is this man that you had seen in the church before, carrying his burlap sack, headed towards the door at the far end. What are you doing?
Oh my
Blake.
god, he's feeding these things. He's feeding it!
Yeah, so Blake,
So I will say, yeah, there's definitely nothing in the shattered tank. In the intact tank, it's a little farther away, and you're seeing through 4 layers of glass to get there because you're looking through the other tank. It doesn't appear like anything large or obvious is in there, though.
Does it look like that this big man could have crawled out of the broken tank, or is it too small?
No, it appears to be too small.
Okay.
It is like a standing height, but maybe like a 5 feet max standing height. You know,
Gotcha. Okay.
probably not comfortably fitting any person in there.
Okay, I'm gonna like duck back behind the wall. I really want to see what's behind this door back there. It's something that man is bringing back the body parts, to a door that says it devours. Maybe he's feeding something?
I don't know if this is fucked up of me to ask, but why only feed something arms and legs? Like, why not just the whole body?
Maybe
That's
it's
a
a
very good
religious
point.
thing. Like, maybe something. I don't know. Maybe
It's Lent.
something.
He's giving up torsos.
Giving up torsos for Lent.
But, like, if the church doesn't see the extremities as part of the human being, if, like, the heart and the face and the mind, could it be possible that it's some sort of. I mean, we are in a church.
I mean,
Or
we
he's
won't know
just-
for sure until we get past the door. Do we have any way of knocking that guy out?
Well,
So here's the thing.
there is a way. But like we don't is this another moment where like we probably don't have a lot of time to make a decision, or
Probably not.
what's this guy doing?
Yeah, Atticus, you peek around the corner again, and you see what he's doing is there are some other things in this room. I already had a lot to describe, but there are like various crates and barrels and things, and there's also a table nearby the door, and he appears to be not in like not like an astronaut or anything, but he's suiting up for something. He's putting on a helmet that's more like made of kind of a leathery material and gloves. And so it's not like a hazmat suit or anything, but he's definitely suiting up with some sort of gear.
He's just
That's what he's doing.
So he
But
doesn't
then
get obliterated by the Frankenstein monster that's down there.
But then he's headed towards the door.
Yo, it's the thing. Maybe it's the thing, Dot, that we saw in the woods. That weird creature that we just haven't talked about for 2 episodes.
Oh, yeah. Well, to be fair, we haven't been by ourselves for 2 episodes.
Oh God.
So,
Okay, so
are we
it-
just
It looks
So
like
I will-
he's going to go into the door. Maybe we just wait outside of it, catch him off guard. Thoughts?
I mean, we have no idea how long he's going to be in there.
Well, it
Let's
looks like
see
he's
if
getting
he-
ready for something.
well the thing
Let's see if he
is
closes the door behind him, and then we can maybe sneak in.
well, brief reminder that we're gonna have 2 more guys coming down if they get through the locked door.
Speaking of that,
No.
you hear. Thank you, Jacob, for letting me make a move.
Yeah, of course.
No.
You hear a door open on the upper floor.
Let's freaking go.
This is it. It seems like they came in through the main hall and they have now entered the back room.
I think it's time to hide.
I think it's time to beat some ass.
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, do we want to take on the priest while the big burly guy with the machete is, like, preoccupied?
Take on the priest. We're
I
going to
don't know
freaking
if we
obliterate them. They're not going
I
to...
don't know if we need to take on the priests.
Well, they're going to take on us eventually.
Take...
On me.
That plays in the next scene.
Whatever happens next, "Take on Me" by Aha is blasting in the background.
All right, so we're not beating some ass, is what I heard.
Okay, so
Hey,
is he,
Blake,
like,
cut
going
this.
into the door currently? Like, can we reasonably hide?
You hear him open the door.
Does it close behind him?
And you peek around, and Atticus, you see whatever's beyond there that he's walking into. The light is blinding. The room is really dark down here, and whatever's beyond that door is incredibly bright. Like almost like less like, oh, this is something radiating like a holy sphere, and it appears more like sunlight. Like there's something beyond there is just like out in the daylight almost. And it closes behind him.
Okay, let's move into the room at least.
All right, we surprise, freaking jump them, handcuff them, gag them, and then go deal with Big Boy.
I don't hate that plan.
Yeah, I don't hate that plan either.
I don't want to kill these guys.
No.
Also, watch, they just have like epic divine priest powers, and they just
Did we
They
die?
blow you guys backwards with their
freaking-
holy light.
God, he's real.
they're battle priests.
battle priest.
Ah,
Okay.
silly one! I served as
They
a
get in-
chaplain in the First World War.
They get in the tanks at the other end of the room. Blow into pieces.
My body disappears as a tank shell obliterates my form.
So so what are you guys doing? Really, like, time crunch. You hear them start walking down the steps.
Ted,
Okay,
Ted,
Yeah.
we surprise them, jump them, handcuff them, gag them. Problem solved.
Fuck. Okay.
I can take a pair of cuffs if you need help.
Just give me a pair. I kind of flick my wrists in like an action. You hear like a no, like it's like more of like a creak, like okay, I hate that. Anyway, a little tiny pistol flicks into my hand,
Okay.
Oh.
and
That's
okay.
very cool.
Yeah, it's kind of you were unconscious last time I used it, actually. So
Yeah, that
just
seems
give me a
pretty
pair,
typical
yes?
of me.
okay,
Give
and it's a
him a
spiral
pair.
staircase, right? So I want to be under the spiral, so that I can come like as soon as they hit the floor, I'm behind them and they can't see me, right?
Should one of us wait like right where they can see us, so they'll be like, "Stop! You violated the laws of Skyrim," and run towards us, and then y'all can attack them from the back.
So the thing is, as soon as is this in character? I can't tell.
I know that I didn't mention Skyrim in
Well,
character.
Yeah, Annie loves Skyrim.
Atticus,
None.
the problem is, are we gonna be like, get on the ground? Because then the guy through the door is probably gonna hear that.
Don't yell. Silence can be just as intimidating.
You all hide behind the stairs, and Annie, are you stepping in front of that? Is that the plan?
Is it? Someone give me a thumbs up or thumbs down.
Act scared.
Okay, I walk towards the door and just cower.
Yeah. Father Abel rounds the corner and just, you again, child. What are you doing down here? You are not supposed to be down here.
As he says that, creep up with Ted.
I'm just so confused, and there's so many terrible things happening I don't understand.
Put the barrel to his neck.
Yeah.
Speak and you die.
And can I whisper to the other one? Bless me, Father, for I have sinned.
And that
I
was
step
going
out
to
from
be
behind
cool.
wherever I was hiding and point the bow, rotating between
Yeah.
both of them.
Okay, then I think what this is because I was going to say act under pressure, but if you're not making a move to grab them, I think you're more going for the influence other approach and trying to make them willingly get into the cuffs. Who's leading this and who's helping?
I think I'm leading this.
Yeah, I feel like,
Okay.
yeah.
So then
Your
go ahead
plan.
and influence other. That's plus charisma. And
And I think Ted is helping, yeah.
Ted, you want to help?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's a charisma. Are you charismatic?
I have a +1.
I could
also
also
do it.
also see a world where Annie is helping with the distraction.
I could do that too.
Who's got better charisma?
What's your charisma?
I don't know if that's
looking
meta,
like?
but
It
My
definitely
charisma's
is.
not great.
And the thing is, like, it's not meta because the numbers in the game are just trying to approximate the best parts of you guys, right? So,
Okay.
yeah, go ahead and Ted roll help there.
Yeah, I will help you.
oh,
Are you kidding me? I rolled so well.
it doesn't matter what you rolled. We
I
failed.
know.
God.
Well, you get +2.
Oh, it's
Damn.
close. It's close. We have a 6. We don't get any +1 because of the guns or anything. Remember when you gave me a +1 in episode 1, and it actually meant the difference between us succeeding or not?
Well, I didn't think. Wait, what's your charisma?
Can I
+1,
also
and I rolled a
help?
2 and a 1 on my die points.
Oh no.
That's good.
Oh
Wait, can more than
no.
one
Could I
person-
also help?
Yeah, can more
I
than
think
one
we're
person
all
help?
helping.
Guidance?
I think
Let's say
we're
I'll
all-
let Annie help as well.
Okay, all right. And I'm rolling charisma.
These dice are going
Yes.
away.
Because I do say the more people are helping, the more likely it is that you fail on the help, which is pretty bad. So
8.
that's a +1. That is
That's a
enough to
+1.
make
That
it
buffs us over.
Partial.
That's
partial.
enough to make it a partial success. So I think what happens here. So it says they do what you ask, but the GM chooses one.
Can regret
I
it,
think
but
I think we're gonna say complications will arise at a future time because I think they realize here that they are outgunned at least,
they're SOL.
and their power over you comes from a future standpoint of like we know who you are. So I think they, for the moment, put their hands up, and the father Abel goes, "Officer Garner, I thought we had come to an agreement.
I'm not gonna hurt you as long as you cooperate.
You will regret this. Maybe not right at this moment. You could shoot us now. If you would like to peer behind the veil and see what is back there, you will be forever changed."
I don't know if this is not my best. Maybe this is how I become a butterfly.
What does that mean?
Because I'm gonna change. I'm going from caterpillar to butterfly, baby. Leave it in.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's go in the room.
Ted Caterpillar Garner
Hold on, handcuff them
them.
first. Yeah,
handcuffs them. Are you gagging them?
yeah. Let's find like
That's
a
a good
rag
idea.
or something.
Okay.
I would like to take a peek. What's
Okay.
going on behind this door? What's behind door number 1?
Under the words "it devours" over the door, you see this wooden door that opens inwards, I think, towards you. You're opening it, Annie?
Yes.
Can I go and stand like with her over her shoulder? As she
Yes. And you open the door, and you see sunlight. You see sunlight and like a white film almost over the entire portrait of the door. Are you going through that?
Oh God.
Annie, you see, or you hear on the ground behind you a large shadow extend from this light. Annie, let your friends go first.
I won't look back or anything, but I'll say, what's behind the light?
You'll find out soon. Just go in last.
I open the door wide and step back from it.
Annie, what are you doing?
We have no idea what's on the other side. It's terrifying.
These two should know. What is this? As I asked that to the priest. Like,
Oh, the priest. Yeah, they go.
oh, sorry. I pull one of them out real quick. What's behind there?
There are those of us that may be seen as corrupt or senseless when you do not have the context. Evil, maybe, but we are doing things that if the public knew of or understood, they would be driven mad. You would see people just walking out through the mists. You would see, we would not live in the society we live in now if there weren't people doing these things. Go in there and forget everything else about what you knew and who you love. You will be part of something bigger. Just know that you will not understand. You will not understand why we are doing these things. You will not understand what it is you see. But know that what we are doing is saving people.
Does he seem truthful? Does he?
He seems incredibly truthful and passionate about what he's saying.
I clear my throat and I say, well, there are a lot of things that I don't understand, so might as well add one to the list. And I open the door.
Okay. Are you going through?
Yeah.
Dot walks through. Ted, Atticus?
Can I find what has been lost?
If there is something you've lost, someone you've lost, let us help you. Do not go through the door. We can help you. We can take these restraints off of me, and we can get you to someone who can help. We can speak to the Walker family, and they can help.
Not like that. I'll forget everyone I ever loved.
You won't forget them. It will just all seem so small.
So be it. I will follow Dorothy through the door.
Okay?
Oh my god.
Ted?
Best of friends, best of friends.
Let me ask, can Ted explain this mysterious,
Interesting.
light thing?
I think no, right? But I think we'll do that in a second. Your brain can explain away this phenomenon.
Okay.
It seems like there's a film over this door. You see them walk through it. It could be like fog, as like sunlight is, or like some light is being cast through it, like some sort of weird haze effect. You could probably achieve this effect in the real world before you've walked through it.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll walk through.
Okay. The three of you walk through the door, and Annie, you are left alone in this room with the two that are now gagged again, sitting on the wall. And your shadow speaks again. Annie, you've seen the bodies. You know the patterns. You're a smart girl. I heard you figure it out. You know what happens if you deny my next request. But I promise you this, Annie. You are different. If you accept and do the thing I will ask of you, I will leave. I will leave you be. You will not end up among the victims. Do we have an agreement, Annie? I think you and I both know that your friends are in another place now. You are here alone, and you will die soon if you don't accept this. If that's a risk you're willing to take, then please call my bluff.
I'm walking through that door.
I have a quick favor to ask of you, Annie. You can walk through that door after you do something for me. I need you to take a look to your left, walk over to the wall, and break the glass of that tank. And you will never hear from me again.
What's in it?
You walk over to the tank, and you see that, now that you get a better look at it, this is a mostly empty tank. There is almost nothing in here, except from the top of the glass, which has like a metal lid on it. There is a, like an arcade claw hand, like a claw that is made of metal, that is holding something very small. It is a, how do I describe this? It is like pink and a little bit red, and it wriggles like some sort of maggot. It's about the size of a caterpillar, maybe smaller, kind of like a thick, fat worm. And that is the only thing in this tank.
Will it stop? If you leave me, are you just gonna go torture another innocent soul? Or will I be the last?
You'll be the last.
Damn it to hell. I'm gonna find something I can use to break the glass.
There are some tools. He has actually, which he has left his blade behind, like under one of the tables. So you reach for that, and with the hilt, shatter the glass. Thank you, Annie. It has been a pleasure. I will keep my word. I just want you to know that what you've done here will have great effect in the future. And the grin fades from your shadow. You can remove the haunted disadvantage. And the door beckons you with its light.
I desperately hope I'm just crazy, and I go ahead and walk through.
You step through the last of the four. You step through this film and you feel suddenly very warm. This happens with all four of you. You feel the sun on your face, and you are in a completely different spot. You are on a boardwalk with a crowd of hundreds, maybe even thousands of people. As you step out into the middle of this boardwalk and look behind you, and there was no door behind you. And you look around at the four of you that had entered, and you are not the same people you came in as.